Let's talk early extension and what the best drill is that I found for you to fix that and to feel it, to make sure that we don't do it anymore and that we can actually stay in the shot a lot longer, get more power, get better contact, and have much more fun golfing. All right, everybody, so early extension. Let's just cover that real quickly. So early extension basically refers to early extension of your spine angle. And let's revisit what spine angle actually refers to, and I'll show you this down the line. It is the angle of your spine. If we start at a straight up position, you're going to bend over at setup, right? So you're going to have an angle here. You're going to be at an angle, and ideally in the golf swing, we're going to rotate around that angle. What we're not going to do is this and this and this. What we're also not going to do is this and this. And that's kind of early extension. I'm exaggerating, guys, of course, but early extension mainly means people go back pretty okay, and then what happens is they lose their spine angle through impact. And see how that has straightened out my spine angle? So that's what early extension of the spine refers to. And that's what we're here to correct today. A couple of reasons of why this could happen. Number one, people need to shallow their club, because if it's too steep of a plane, if the club, especially at the start of the downswing, if at the start of the downswing the club is pointing down into the ground, right here, like this, we know we need to hit the ball, because if we kept going like this, we're just going to hit dead into the ground. Straight down doesn't feel very good, doesn't work well either. So if this is the case, what needs to happen for me to actually shallow the club? And the shallow club angle is more this, right? This is obviously too shallow, but just so you know, this is steep, club pointing into the ground, club parallel to the ground, that's shallow. So we want to be right in the middle there. We want to be right at that angle in between the two at the start of the downswing. So the only way for me to actually shallow from here, because I'm not going to just do it with my hands. If I did that, I'm going to miss the ball and over the top, right? And like not even hit the ball, is to do this. If I now changed my spine angle, then my club would shallow. And that's exactly what happens a lot of the time to people that have a pretty steep swing. So if you know you're somebody who slices the golf ball, who takes deep divots, who actually, is steep and very up and down, not a whole lot of body rotation, then this is a good tip for you, because likely you're early extending. So how do we feel whether we're early extending or not? I'm going to take this club away for a second, and we're going to bring it back in a minute. So I want you to feel like without a club, you're going to cross your arms, and you're going to really feel like that right hip goes back and up in the backswing. You're going to feel a nice little stretch here on the right-hand side. And then as you're coming back down, I actually don't want you to feel this hip turning forward. I want you to feel like that left hip is actually turning, like going back and matching that level of that right hip that we created in the backswing. So this is a little bit of a combo motion. We can't really do the good, impact position if we don't do a good backswing. So some people don't actually do a good backswing, and then their hip's already here, and then they come over the top, right? That's pretty easy to lose our angle if we don't set it well. So let's make sure we set that angle well. That is a pretty deep hip turn away from the ball, backing up. And then we're going to feel like that left hip is going to actually match up throughout transition this way. And then we're going to keep going, and then we're going to keep rotating that left hip backing up. But as you can see, this generates a lot of space. So you will have space for your hands to drop down and allow gravity to do their thing. So let's see here. Back, and then push that left hip back. You see how much space that creates for your hands? And your right hip actually never goes forward. It just goes kind of, stays parallel. And then when you keep rotating, it's more of a lateral move of the right hip. And then the left hip goes back and up. And then you're here in a nice full finish. But the right hip actually never shot forward. So this is a really, really good feel. So many people think that they have to turn their hips, and that kind of implies that their right hip goes forward. We want to go back, away, nice backing up, feel that stretch, and then feel like we're matching that left hip back to the right hip, and keep pushing that left hip backing up as well. So backing up with the hip going back, backing up with the hip going through. There's never a forward turn. So a really good drill that you can do this in the hallway. I love my hallway drills, you know me, it's over here. And especially on these big motions, super important that this is done at home or in the gym, or just on the range without a golf ball, at least like 20, 25 times before you even hit a golf ball. Guys, we got to get these motion patterns into our brains. We can't, the second we put a golf ball there, things change. We know that we're like things just go crazy. When the golf ball's there, your body goes into I must hit it mode versus I must focus on my kinetic sequence. I don't know if my brain ever fully is like, I must focus on my kinetic sequence. But if the ball's there, it definitely doesn't do it. Because our brain gets so occupied in how we're going to hit the ball. It gets occupied with the result of the ball flight, which is completely not the goal here. The goal here is to relearn a good motion in the middle of our body, in the center, in our engine, core, and pelvis connection, right? So, when you're on the range, you can use this with a golf club. You can do this at home with a golf club too. You know me, I have a golf club anywhere, no matter. And I'm going to make sure, I'm going to put my grip right here into my left hip. And then I'm going to swing back, really feel like that right hip goes back. You have to do a full swing. This is just kind of a, a pivot drill. Go back, really feel like you load into that right heel, right hip, goes back. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually press. With that club, we're going to press that hip back. Do you see what's happening here? So I have that pressure going back and up, and I'm going to keep applying that pressure going back and up, going through. And this is the drill, guys. Back, pressure, back, pressure, back, pressure, back and up. So this is a really, really good way for you guys to feel what that left hip should do, and actually shifts your focus completely away from that villain right hip that always does in the early extension. So let's shift focus to the other hip. Sometimes that's super helpful for you to actually be able to not think about, the right hip that's doing it wrong, because so many times when you focus on the part that's wrong in your golf swing, it gets more attention, and for some reason it gets wronger. Is that even a word? But you catch my drift, guys. If we switch focus to right here, it's actually really, really helpful. So I encourage you guys to do this drill. Let's look at it from down the line too. Again, I'm going to just put my grip here into my hip joint, go back, and then start applying that pressure right here, back and up, back and up. And that will keep that right hip from shooting forward, because we're not even talking or thinking about that right hip. All right, guys, I hope this made a lot of sense. When you're going into your next session, when you struggle with early extension, when you feel like you're coming out and you feel like your head's picking up, do this drill. It's going to keep you in the shot longer. It's going to keep you over the shot longer. It's going to help you hit more penetrating shots. It's going to help you hit the ball first and then the ground. All the things that we actually want to do in our golf swing. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. This was so much fun for me because it's such a unique and cool drill, and it really combines what I do in the hallway here with what we should be doing outdoors. So leave me a comment below if you've tried it. Do you like it better in the hallway? Do you like it better out in the course? What did it do to your ball flight? I want to hear it all. If you've learned something from this, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Maybe even switch on the notification button, because then you will be notified as one of the first ones when I drop my next video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.